What is up, guys? This is, I don't even know what I'm going to call this channel anymore. I'm just kind of making this my own personal channel here now, guys. From now on, it's might explain the name change. It's no longer Darth Marley. That just seems a little unprofessional, you know? Not that I'm all about professionalism or anything, but I changed the name to kind of a spin off of my real name. So I think this is gonna be how I'm gonna keep it for a while. So this channel's basically gonna turn into a few things here from now on, but I'm still gonna keep doing some random crap like this. And this is another tier list video, so yeah. Um, I don't know if the screen recorder is going. It's going. So today's tier list is Oceania. Okay. You might be wondering, why the frick Oceania? Well, uh, you see, it's one of the world's least talked about parts of the world. So I was like, you know what? I don't think there's ever been a tier list of this before. There's been like country tier lists of all of them, but no, we're not doing that. And plus, they don't even know half the stuff about Oceania anyway. I do. See, the reason I do is because it's such a weird part of the world. I kind of like to look into it a little bit. I'm not an expert or anything, so I don't know all of these here, but I know quite a few. Like, I don't know too much about Tokelau, which is this one. I don't know if you see my mouse here. Uh, that. But and yeah, Wallis and Futuna. I'm actually gonna have a hard time ranking that one. In fact, I'm probably gonna put it low tier because I don't know what it is. But we're gonna go ahead and start off this video with a few here. So let me just start off with the obvious, like Australia. Come on, guys. It's a freaking continent. This is not fair game. Australia is larger than all these combined. So Australia, um, I mean, look, they get S tier. I know it's not fair, but the facts are real. The facts are here. They get S tier because they have the biggest economy, military. I'm kind of ranking these in multiple factors. Uh, economy, military, interestingness about the country, things like that. Kind of another reason. This is a legit ranking video here with some biases, possibly, because some of them I just don't even know. Like the Solomon Islands, I should have done a little more research before this. Oh well, who cares? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start with the next kind of the most known of this list. Alright, New Zealand. So, I know we're starting off S tier, but nah. See, the thing I want to say about New Zealand is they're kind of like the epitome. Well, them, Hawaii, and Samoa, I'd say those three guys there, they're the epitome of Polynesia. But it's a tough one because, yeah, I knew this was gonna be hard because some of them are just so good. I don't want to give it S tier, but I might have to give New Zealand S tier. Man, well, two of the biggest ones here. See, New Zealand I think is fair game against all the other ones, but Australia, nah, they're straight up a continent. They got a desert nobody lives in. All right, so on to the next one. So Papua New Guinea. This one's somewhat known about because it is kind of one of the bigger ones. It takes up half of the island of Papua, or is that what it's called? Or New Guinea. I don't know. Um, I might have to shrink it a little, but Papua New Guinea is kind of a mess. It actually is a big mess. So, and like, it's not really that vacationy. It's just kind of like going there is basically going to visit like a rural African country. Like, it just kind of sucks. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and give it D tier here. Sorry, Papua New Guinea. I think D tier. I don't know. We'll do some slight revisions later if we need to. So let's move on to Guam. Guam is actually United States territory. I would say Guam is actually one of the higher rankings of all the other ones compared to what some of these things are. I think I'm gonna go ahead and give Guam B. It's pretty average. It's a pretty average Oceania, like Like these aren't all countries. Some of them are territories of countries too. These are basically just all the like uh, districts, administrations of Oceania. So, in fact, Norfolk Island belongs to Australia. In fact, let's go ahead and rank that one now. Norfolk Island, you know what? I might give it B tier too because it's actually a pretty cool place. Norfolk Island's got some good history behind it. In fact, it's like they originally, I don't know, they were like sailors or something that like stayed there. Something like that. They abandoned ship, something like that. It's a good one. Um, and basically the descendants of sailors from the British days, the colonial days, living on that island today. So, um, okay, so Tuvalu. Tuvalu is Polynesian. I think I'm gonna go ahead and give Tuvalu C tier, mainly because it has a fun fact. It has the .tv as its website address, so it gets a lot of money from that. Something I heard it somewhere. I don't know. It's just an interesting fact. Okay, so we gotta run quickly through this list here. So this one is the Northern Marianas Islands, which is another United States territory. This one's pretty average, but I wouldn't say it's as good as Guam or Norfolk. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it C tier. Yeah, sorry, Northern Marianas Islands. All right. Um, you know what? Let's do American Samoa. Let's just get all these American things out of the way quickly here. So American Samoa is Samoa's American counterpart. They're smaller. They're a little less cool than regular Samoa. They're basically the same thing, but they're smaller. They just don't have as many things there. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it C tier. Samoa, we're going up A tier. They're straight up legit in terms of Polynesian and Oceania. It's a big economy in Polynesia. Um, let's go ahead and give Fiji A tier as well. I think Fiji really does belong in this spot. You know, Fiji's kind of a top destination. Um, yeah. All right. Sorry about that. I just realized that I didn't add Palau to this list. While we're at it, why don't we go ahead and rank Palau? Okay, so Palau, I'm thinking that Palau belongs in the B tier because you see, Palau is a country that it doesn't get too much recognition. It's only starting to now, mainly because it's people are starting to realize like, wow, this place has potential. So Palau is actually a place I'd really like to go in real life. They have this big lake there that you can swim through and it's full of jellyfish that are not poisonous, so you won't get stung by them. But I think Palau definitely belongs in the B tier. Um, let's see here. Let's get some lower tier trash here. Um, Okay, you know what? I said I was gonna get the United States stuff out of the way. Hawaii, S tier. Sorry. I know they're a United States. They're a state, but I think Hawaii belongs in the higher rankings, considering just looking at how things are in Hawaii. Okay. I think we're gonna go down and give Bougainville F tier. See, Bougainville is actually not a real country yet. It's going to be one this year, I think. They voted for independence from Papua New Guinea just this year, or last year actually, and that's basically it. And they're also, it's basically a whole lot of terrorism stuff happening there right now, so F tier. Sorry. Okay, we're going to go down some more kind of depressing ones here. I think Nauru gets D tier. They're a very depressing island that's now basically just drained their all their resources, and I'd say they go in D tier. Okay, New Caledonia. So this is a French This is one of the three French territories we have here in Oceania. So I think I'm gonna go ahead. Okay, so New Caledonia's. We don't hear too much about it. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in C tier. That might be the most common tier here. All right, so the Marshall Islands. I'm gonna give it. Let's see. Let me just resize it here. Oh man, so this is where the United States used to test all their nuclear weapons. It's kind of a poor country, but uh, You know what? I'm sorry, Marshall Islands. I think you belong in D tier. I'm sorry. You're just not as good as the other ones. These guys, look at this. I'd say the tier list here is pretty well. Niue. So this is actually territory of New Zealand. I also really like their flag. It's like the British flag, but kind of, you know, painted on with stars and stuff. So it's pretty cool, but Niue is really small. Uh, I think I'm afraid I'm gonna have to put it in E tier. Sorry, guys. You're just not the best. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and revise this list a little here. Let's just drop Nauru down once. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Okay, Micronesia. This is called the Federated States of Micronesia. They're pretty average. They're decently rich, I guess, in a way. Um, they're basically just a bunch of little islands. That's all. That's basically what a lot of these are. Um, I don't think it belongs in B tier personally. It probably should belong in. It's kind of like the same thing as Marshall Islands in a way. It's basically the same thing, except we didn't nuke them or anything. So I think that's what we're gonna have to do. Next one. So Kiribati. I bet not a lot of people know about Kiribati, but I do. In fact, it's one of my favorite ones, mainly just because of the obscurity of it. But I'm gonna be honest for the tier list. I think Kiribati should go in E tier. I'm sorry, it's like kind of a trashy country. Maybe if you cleaned up your beaches, Kiribati, you might get a higher ranking. We're getting real low. We're getting to some of the lesser known ones. Okay, French Polynesia. This one's really good. I think it should go in. Man, I almost want to say A tier. I'm gonna say A tier. French Polynesia is like big vacation destination spot. It's Tahiti. That's where Tahiti is. Um, let's see, Cook Islands. This is kind of another. This is basically like knockoff French Polynesia, but it's British. They kind of have the same thing going for them. So I I might give Cook Islands. Uh, I almost want to say B tier, but they're not. I can't see them being better than. Eh, yeah, they are. Let's give them B tier. Okay, so going down the list here. This one's kind of a weird one. This one is actually not really like Polynesian. It's or Ocean. It's not really related to any of them. It's more related to Norfolk Island in a way because it's also like British sailors. Um, I think I'm gonna give them D tier. I don't know why. I just think so. Okay, so this is Rapa Nui, aka Easter Island. This actually belongs to Chile. Um, I think they're pretty iconic. Um, I think they should go in B tier. This is where the Easter Island like heads are, that stuff. Tokelau, F tier, very crappy. Sorry, Tokelau. I'm not. Don't take it offensively when I say you're crappy. It's just compared to the other ones. Just maybe take it as advice. Be like the other ones. Okay, Vanuatu. That's this one here. I'm gonna go ahead and give them E tier here. Man, it's really sad seeing Kiribati down at E tier, but I have to be honest with the list here. It's E tier. So let's see. The final three. The reason there's a reason I kept them final three. These are the three I don't know that much about. This is the Solomon Islands. I guess considering the local area some Solomon Islands are, it's it's where Bougainville and Papua New Guinea are. So for that, we'll give them D tier, just for the heck of it. Now Tonga, this is like the American Red Cross flag, and that's what it looks like. So I don't know that much about them either, but just they're south of Fiji, so they can't be that bad. Give them C tier.